Welcome back, I'm Ryan from Blue Gaming, and today I'm going over my thoughts on the Darwin project in its early access form. Now, I'm not going to be going over everything because I did do a video on the closed alpha of this game, and I went over my thoughts extensively in that, and the game hasn't really changed much since I made that video. So I'm going to be leaving a link to that video in the description. You can go watch that if you want some more extensive thoughts. Here I'm just pretty much going to be going over some of the things that changed and mostly just the things that I don't like about the game, because this video was actually supposed to be out about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks at this point, and I just haven't wanted to play this game, which sucks because I was given a copy of this game to review, and I still didn't want to play this game all that often. So, yeah, let's just get right into this. The first thing, the most glaring issue that everybody will run into, that some people don't really care about, but I find absolutely infuriating, is that in combat, every time you get hit by anything, you get knocked back. Now, currently, there's 3 different things that you can get hit by. You can get hit by an axe, you can get hit by an arrow, and you can get hit by a snowball. Those are the 3 different things that you can get hit by. I am perfectly okay with getting knocked back when you get hit by an axe. That kind of resets the fight and gives both people a pretty good chance to come out ahead in the fight. Granted, the big problem with axe fighting is that the hitbox for the axes is a lot larger than it seems to be. Or it's a lot larger than it looks like it is. And so that can lead to plenty of times when you get hit when it definitely doesn't look like you should have gotten hit there. The other 2, the snowball and the arrow, this is where I have the big problem with the knockback, because this leads to a large advantage for the person that gets the first hit in with the ranged item. I talked about it in the video of the alpha version of this game, and it still happens, but you can actually get juggled by arrows in this, because the person that hits you the first time can hit you. You'll get knocked back, and you actually get knocked back in a predictable fashion, and then you can get hit again as soon as you get knocked back, and then you can just keep getting knocked back and stun locked, essentially, and killed like that. And I think I actually have some footage of that I'll try to have somewhere in this, but this happens not all too often, but getting knocked back after being hit by a ranged attack definitely just puts the person that got hit at a huge disadvantage, and I definitely think that it should be removed, but knowing what the developers of this have done so far, I highly doubt that that's going to be removed. And that is the biggest problem that I have with this. Other than that, some of the other sizable problems, they introduced a duo mode, which actually fixes some of the problems with combat, because it makes it slows combat down a little bit when you have 4 people fighting instead of just 2. The big problem with duos is there's not enough resources scattered around the map for 2 people moving together. The map just isn't designed for duos, and while I think that the game is better with duos, I think that they really need to change how they have the resources set up, because the resources definitely aren't numerous enough for 2 people to be running around together. On top of that, another thing about the map just feels too small. Currently, it is divided into, I believe, 7 sections. There's like 6 on the outside, and then 1 in the middle. It might be just 6 sections with 5 on the outside and 1 in the middle, but it needs to have like 4 or 5 more sections. Like, this map needs to be almost twice as big as it is right now, because you are running into people left and right, which is kind of bad when there's only 10 people in the game. Now, I understand that they want you to, they want the games to kind of not be all that long, but having this small of a map forces you back into combat, and I already said how infuriating combat is. It wouldn't be so bad if they, like, emphasize combat, but they outright tell you in several different places in the game that a valid strategy is supposed to be hiding in the woods away from everybody. And essentially, that is not a valid strategy. Waiting out people is not something that you can really do anymore. I actually did it successfully many times in the alpha testing, but now it's just not something that you can really do anymore. You were pretty much forced into combat now, and pretty much every big problem comes back to combat, and I've said how infuriating combat is. One other thing that I kind of just remembered that would also somewhat help combat, the arrows and the bows in this game are actually what I would consider too accurate. Which sounds completely weird because normally you'd be complaining that the guns are too inaccurate, but the spread in this is absolutely non-existent. The weapons have no spread. Where you're pointing is where your arrow will go. I think that spread could definitely make the game and ranged combat slightly easier. It might also help with people that, like I said before, people can juggle you in a stun lock. Having some variation where your arrows are going to go could definitely help in that. And when this game comes to Xbox, which they've said it will at some point, but when it comes to Xbox, I don't think that a controller is going to be able to be that accurate as it needs to be with how the arrows are now. So overall, final thoughts on it, because I don't want this video to be too long. Wait. Unless you have just some curiosity for, like, indie battle royale games. Even then, just wait. Combat is just at a point right now where I wouldn't recommend this game to anybody. Even the people that have played games kind of similar to this, I have friends that have over 1,000 hours in other battle royale games. I don't recommend this to them for its battle royale aspects. Other people that play some games that have combat like this, because of the knockback, I just don't recommend this game to those people. Overall, if they fix combat, and if combat actually gets to be fun, then I think that this game is a buy at its full retail price, which is only like $15, $20. If combat was fun, this game would be amazing. But because of that knockback, combat is just not in a place where I want to play this game. Like I said earlier, I got a review copy for this game, and I still didn't even want to play it for the review. Like, that's how you know something's a little off with your game. When even the person that's supposed to be doing a review for it doesn't want to make a review for it. So, that has been it for this. I hope that I kind of got my point across on how terrible combat is. I know I'm going to have someone, probably some of my friends, tell me that I'm just shit at the game, which I understand, but at least I can be bad at a game and still have fun in combat. But I'm just not having fun with this, and after this review's finished, I'm probably not going to pick this game up again until it gets a full 1.0 release, and then we'll see what they finally changed for it, and hopefully it ends up being a bit more entertaining than it is right now. So that has been it. I'm Ryan from Blue Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one.